My name is Emily, and I'll be teaching a class on the 18th of May, and I brought a few samples of some of the things we'll be making in the class. And I've taught in the past, and I used to teach at the Athenaeum Library, and so I'll just show you some of the sorts of things that we'll be doing in the class for the Bookbinders Guild. We'll be making three different books. And each of the books will be based on stitches from the Keith Smith series of bookbinding books. This particular book is held in the library collection of the Guild, so you'll have access to that book even after the class and can continue exploring different bindings. The idea with the different books that we're making is to explore a range of bindings, and then also to explore a range of bindings and a few different methods for creating the book using paper. And we've got the theme for the class will be Australian florals, Australian natives, and it's the artist, the decorative paper is done by an artist, I believe she's Australian, Jocelyn Proust, and if you're involved with any quilting, you'll recognize that she does a lot of beautiful fabrics as well. I will have Japanese paper available to use as well, so there'll be a little bit of a variety. With the classes, or with the binding stitches that we'll explore, is you'll learn 2 to 3 different binding stitches. Then what you'll end up doing is making a third book, and you'll be looking at ways to use those different bindings in different combinations so that you're actually designing your own binding. And so that's a really good skill. These books are small. The class is really good if you're a beginner or intermediate. It'll help you get used to just handling the different paper sections, getting used to sewing with multiple sections as well as single sections. And with that familiarity, I think it'll make it easier for you to tackle some of the bigger projects that the Guild does. So it's a nice stepping stone to get into more complex sort of bindings. So each of them will be quite small. I've got this little one that was done with Japanese paper. Should I go up to the camera so they can see? Okay. All right. And these two, so this is, first I'll show them, we've got these two that have been created, and they both use the same binding stitch, but you can see they've been done in different ways. And so that's part of what you'll be exploring, is your own creativity and how you'd like to express that binding. So this is a couple of different ways that you can use the same binding. Another binding that we'll explore is this one, and this is another Keith Smith binding. Oh, sorry, thanks. Thank you. Another Keith Smith binding. And this one I taught in a past class. So again, I'm going to show you, there's 3 different variations. So it's originally a single stitch, or it's a binding for 2 sections. And then what I've done is I've done one with multiple sections, that's 4. And this is what you can do if you have 8 sections. And so again, you can see that the binding's been used in different ways, but it's the same binding. So those are the kinds of things that we'll explore so that you can feel confident in creating your own books. These are things, the goal is that you can leave the class and repeat everything at home with a lot of confidence and a lot of success. And the idea isn't necessarily that you leave here with the world's most beautiful books, but that you leave here with confidence and knowledge on how to manage and create your own books, do the sewing, choose the threads, how to treat the threads, etc. So there's just a lot of skill building that will happen in the class, so that you can repeat these at home. So if you have any questions, I'm happy for you to ask. Any questions about? No? Okay. And here's another one that I didn't quite yet finish. And the other thing I'll say about this one here is this binding looks quite plain, but there are ways to jazz it up. But I'm going to leave those until the class. So you'll find out how to jazz up your bindings then. And then this is one other one that we'll explore. And again, you can see it's that really beautiful Australian native flowers. And you can't see it, but I've done there's a bit of an arrow pattern on this. And again, this pattern can be modified in different ways to achieve a different binding, a different look, a different feel for your book. So that's what we'll be experimenting with. We'll be experimenting with color, with design, and a lot of skill building so that you can go home, repeat these, make them as gifts, make them as journals, whatever you'd like. And the sizes that we're using in class, you're not confined to. When you go home to make your books, you'll be able to make them any size you wish. And we'll be using really easy to access materials, so you won't need anything super special. So that's my spiel on the class.
Thank you, Emily. And the course is the 18th of May, the Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's $90 for the course, and I think we say 10 till about 3, 4-ish.
Yeah, 10 to about 3 or 4. And then there's no materials fee. That is included in the cost of the class.
Thank you.